In this podcast episode, Rob Henderson unpacks the question, is having a boyfriend cringe now? Revealing the complex interplay between evolutionary psychology, social dynamics, and contemporary culture. The episode kicks off with the viral Vogue headline questioning if having a boyfriend is embarrassing. To many, it seems absurd, but Rob offers a layered perspective informed by evolutionary psychology. He explains that the social currency for many women, especially influencers, has become about projecting a certain kind of exciting, single lifestyle rather than sharing stable relationships. Posting about a boyfriend online can lead to losing followers, particularly female ones, because it highlights disparities within a competitive dating market. When a friend couples up and shares it publicly, it subtly reminds single women of their single status, intensifying feelings of exclusion or inadequacy. Yet this cringe attitude toward boyfriends isn't just surface-level social awkwardness or jealousy. It's tied to female intrasexual competition, which is far more subtle and indirect than male competition. The very narrative discouraging romantic attachment may serve unconsciously to suppress competitors' reproductive opportunities. This mechanism echoes primate social behaviors, where dominant females may actively or passively limit subordinate females' reproductive success to secure resources and status for themselves. Rob takes us deeper into how socioeconomics and power influence these narratives. Elite women, corporate leaders, academics, and influencers often promote career-first attitudes, portraying family formation as burdensome or incompatible with success. Their personal lives may contradict the public rhetoric, as they tend to have children and maintain relationships, but the message to those below them is clear. Don't count on traditional family structures. This leads to what Rob terms luxury beliefs, ideas that confer social status on the affluent while imposing real costs on less privileged groups. For less affluent women, reproducing while meeting modern elite standards, expensive weddings, luxury living, intensive parenting becomes a stressful, sometimes unattainable aspiration, contributing to declining fertility rates in lower socioeconomic strata. Meanwhile, the elite have resources like egg freezing and surrogacy to delay or circumvent these issues. The paradox is stark. Progressive critiques of capitalism coexist with an insistence that women center their lives around career advancement at the expense of family, a contradiction, Rob notes, is rarely acknowledged openly. Rob unpacks how these dynamics feed into feminist and cultural narratives that paint men as unreliable or undesirable partners, intensifying female competition by encouraging self-reliance and discouraging dating. The pervasive men are trash meme and hypercritical red flag discourses serve not only as protection mechanisms, but also as tools of reproductive suppression, dissuading women from investing in relationships where viable partners are increasingly scarce. Interestingly, he contrasts the female experience of competition with male behavior. While men's intrasexual competition tends to be overt and direct, women's social maneuvers are more covert, involving social exclusion, rumor, and subtle status management. This difference reflects evolutionary pressures and risk management given physical vulnerabilities. The conversation shifts to the swag gap phenomenon, where one partner, usually the woman, is more stylish or put together than the other. Rob views this as reflecting deeper socioeconomic and evolutionary patterns. Women's status and desirability are often tied to appearance, encouraging them to invest heavily in self-beautification. Men historically compensated for lower emphasis on looks by leveraging socioeconomic and status resources. But with shifting economic dynamics, where women increasingly earn more than their male partners, there may be increasing pressure on men to compete visually. Rob notes that, in celebrity culture, male counter-signaling, such as wearing casual or uncool attire, works because their status is already established. For the average man, this isn't feasible, implying men might feel pressure to up their game in appearance as traditional economic roles evolve. A profound insight emerges about how online validation distorts our view of relationships. Unlike follower counts or likes, relational quality isn't measured in easily quantifiable scores. Yet for influencers and those cultivating an online brand, the peer approval that comes from projecting an exciting single life often outweighs the messy, unmeasurable work of maintaining genuine relationships. This prioritization can erode authentic connection and increase superficiality. What about men in this evolving dynamic? Rob highlights that while some men, like incels, resist, most are indifferent or resigned, influenced by cultural messages that deem traditional masculinity as toxic. He references anthropological insights showing that manhood often requires communal rights to instill responsibility and motivation. Without these, many young men withdraw. The lack of clear, positive masculine models combined with discouragement leads to male passivity in courtship and life ambition, further complicating relationship dynamics. Throughout the talk, Rob stresses the importance of distinguishing between proximate, immediate, stated, and ultimate, evolutionary, unconscious reasons for behavior. Many women may sincerely believe they discourage relationships to protect their friends from harm, while the deeper, less conscious motive aligns with competition and self-preservation on the mating ladder. This cognitive dissonance helps maintain social harmony while still enacting exclusionary strategies. Rob touches on how culture and stress affect female fertility beyond social mechanisms, including hormonal influences. He references the grandmother hypothesis and absent father hypothesis, linking them to patterns where older women may have subconscious incentives to limit younger women's reproductive success, preserving their own social niche. Meanwhile, expensive cultural norms around weddings and parenting escalate resource demands, making reproduction less accessible and more stressful for many. Rob Henderson's exploration reveals a society caught in tension between individual fulfillment and social signaling, between evolutionary imperatives and modern cultural frameworks. The question, is having a boyfriend cringe now, becomes a lens to examine broader themes: the commodification of relationships as brand collaborations, nuanced female competition, male disengagement, and the unintended consequences of progressive ideals entangled with elite self-interest. Are relationships becoming less about shared happiness and more about curated social images? Will authentic connections survive in an environment where followers are forever, but boyfriends may be fleeting? And how do we reconcile the evolutionary baggage we carry with the rapidly evolving cultural landscape? Rob's insights compel us to consider how much of what we say and do in matters of love and partnership is shaped by forces beneath conscious awareness. They challenge us to look beyond surface narratives and reckon with the evolutionary social dance shaping modern romance. Perhaps the greatest takeaway is this: as we navigate this complex terrain, it's crucial to ask not just what seems cool or Instagrammable, but what fosters genuine connection and fulfillment. After all, if the measure of happiness remains elusive, maybe it's time to reset the metrics altogether. Can love be both genuine and visible, or is the very currency of social approval undermining the intimate bonds it tries to celebrate? The answers may define how we relate to one another for generations to come.